Good morning, children. Welcome back to the computer class. So, last class we have learned about different devices. We learned abacus. We learned about Napier bone. We learned about Pascal line, Libis computer, Jackpot loom, Harvard Mark I, ENIAC, UNIVAC, and analytical engine. Today lesson is about generation of computer. It's very common in the generation of computer. You have a parents. Your parents have their parents, and so on. Their parents also have their parents. In short, we have different generation. Computer also have different generation. So let us see the following generation what computers has. We're going to start with the first generation of computer. The first generation of computer, it was as dated 1940 to 1956. 1940 to 1956. The first generation of computer are characterized by the use of vacuum tubes. As you know, I have told you that in the device ENIAC, it was John J. Pepper's, Eric, and John Morley. They use 17,468 vacuum tubes. These are vacuum tubes. In earlier days, in television, in radios, they used to have vacuum tubes. So these are vacuum tubes. You can see over here, the pictures are been given there. So now, the characteristic of this computer or first generation computer was that it was used magnetic drum, it was punch tape, was used both as an input device and output device, had 1000 circuit per square feet, heavy and large in size, very expensive. Example, ENIAC, UNIVAC 1, UNIVAC 2, UNIVAC 1101. So this was the machine, the first generation computer, which was used by using vacuum tubes. So you can see they were large and limited in basic calculation. They consist of large device like vacuum tubes. So they have a limited calculation. Nowadays computers can use different scientific calculations, but in this machine never used to use those. Coming to the next generation, see the size of the machine. First generation computer, such a big machine, as it was said, it was used 18,000 square feet area. Second generation computer. The second generation computer consists of transistor. They use transistor. These are the transistors you can see in your TV circuit board, in your radio circuit board, in your FM boards. All the device now they have a transistor in it. The period of the second generation computer was from 1959 till 1965. In this generation, transistors were used that were cheaper, consumed less. So in place of vacuum tube, now came up with the transistor. But what are the characteristics of this one? About 1 lakh circuit per square feet. Smaller in size than the first generation computer, faster than the first generation computer, less expensive. So you can see the changes. It becoming, the size was becoming, reducing in size, the speed were increasing. Example, IBM 1400 series and 1600 series. Next, we have the third generation computer. Third generation computer from it's almost 65, from 65 to 71. The third generation computer used integrated circuit in place of transistor. So now the transistor has been removed into IC, integrated circuit. A single IC has many transistor, resistors and capacitors along with the associated circuits. So many transistor, what it is to do this function, one IC or one integrated circuit does the same thing. For example, suppose it has used 10 transistor. Now with one IC or the integrated circuit, you can use it. So that's when it is reduced in cost by 10 transistor, reduce in space or the size. Now you can use small IC or the integrated circuit in place of transistor. The third generation computer use integrated circuits. What are the characteristics? 10 million circuit per square feet, smaller in size, so the size becoming more smaller than the second generation computer, faster and more accurate than the second generation computer, less expensive than the second generation computer. And examples of this computers are Honeywell 200, IBM Series 360, ICL 1900. So this was second generation computer. I am again repeat one thing. See the years is becoming 1964 to 71, but here it's showing 1965 since the time between few months may be the different, but almost the year is 64 to 71, the correct year. Next we have the fourth generation computer. The fourth generation computer used microprocessor. The year it's belonged from 1971 to 1980. This computer used VLSI technology, or which is known as a very large scale integrated circuit. Please underline this line. Just learn this abbreviation. VLSI, very large scale integrated circuit. VLSI, very large scale integrated. This is a circuit technology. Therefore, they were also used as microprocessors. So many IC, number of IC, suppose 10, 20, 50 IC were pulled up into one single piece of integrated circuit that's known as VLSI. Therefore, they were also used as microprocessor. They were known as microprocessor. So now many IC can be pulled up into one machine, a small chip known as the microprocessor. So the machine example over here given over here, start 1000, C-Ray, XMP, supercomputer, DC10, TP11 and C-Ray 1. Characteristic of fourth generation computer. Thousands of integrated circuit on a single chip. Small in size, cheaper and faster. Very easy to handle. Laptop and handheld device were invented. So laptop and other devices, handheld devices like mobile, are using all these things. IBM Series System 4300 IC 2900. Let us few example. So I have given few example on the screen on the PPT. Two examples are you have in your book. Let me go for the fifth generation computer. Computer fifth generation, the period of fifth generation in 1980s till date. In the fifth generation, VLSI technology become ULSI, which is ultra large, large scale integrated, ultra large scale integrated. Now, the fifth generation computer were based on artificial intelligence. So today's computers are becoming artificial intelligence. So as you touch, it has a sensor, your mobile or your computer switch on. If you something like ATM machine, ATM machine, you don't have to type anything. You have to touch screen. So that's artificial intelligence. This generation is still in development. High-speed logical and memory chips, high performance, integrated, and has ability to take decision on its own. So it has an ability to take its decision on its own. For example, robots. You know about robots. With the signal, it can does any work whatever you want. So class, today we have learned about the different generation of computers, and we have learned the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and finally we have done the fifth generation. Please go through the chapters, read it nicely, and the key points of this chapter or this portion, what we have learned today, is the date, the technology it is used, like vacuum tube, transistor, IC, VLSI, UALSI, okay, and the example. These are the few things which you have to remember. So you take a copy, make columns, write down the generation, write for example first generation, the device, use the component, for example like vacuum tube, second generation transistor, third generation IC, and so on. Coming to the next part, the year, which are the years, the period it belong to. Third column, you can have, that was the example of these computers in this generation. Okay, so please write it down in your copy. It will help you to learn and remember. Thank you, class. See you soon.